Okay, so to start with, I was born in Springfield, Missouri, and grew up in the Midwest. Was a Midwest boy for the first 11 years of my life, and we lived in Chicago and Milwaukee, and then we moved to Seattle, and eventually into South Laguna, California. And I started junior high there, and then went to high school in Dana Hills High School in Dana Point, California. But I started playing the piano when I was about 7 years old, and played for probably about 7 or 8 years, and then I was pretty hung up on playing the piano because I didn't want anybody to know I was doing it. I thought it was a very effeminate thing to be doing, and I was forced to do it. My grandmother had bought me the piano, and my parents were making me do this, and I was trying to surf and do other cool stuff and hang with everybody, like my good friend here, and I realized that I was embarrassed about playing the piano, so I begged my parents to quit, and I did quit around 14 or 15. But then, oddly enough, about a year and a half, 2 years later, I came back to it sort of on my own terms now, not playing classical music, but needing to express myself. And so this is when I really began to compose right around 16 or 17 years old. I continued my studies of music. I went to UCLA, and I graduated with a degree in music and theater. And my mother's Norwegian, so I'd spent a lot of my summers in Europe, and predominantly in Norway. But we'd come back through Paris or London or Copenhagen. So I got to know a little bit about Europe when I was quite young, and it had made a huge impression on me as an individual and a young person. And I realized very early on that I wanted to live in Europe as soon as I had an opportunity. So once I graduated from UCLA, I realized that if I moved to Paris and I'm doing instrumental music, and I knew that instrumental music had been popular in Europe when it really hadn't been in America. So I thought I could move to Paris and get a record contract and start writing piano music. When I moved to Paris, as I said earlier, I was trying to find a record contract, but I really went to Europe with a heavy heart because my college sweetheart and I had broken up, and we had been together for nearly 3 years, and it was a devastating thing. We were both really kind of broken up with it. We couldn't see how it happened. And the first selection on the CD, A Season of Loss, is about her and about our experience and our relationship.